Moving forward now, though, Holly, I mean, already this morning Jane Hume was on the program. She's told me nuclear talks are advanced. So just further to Matt's point, does Dunkley prove a need for something big to give voters a real choice between the two major parties at the big dance next year?
Yeah, and look, I think there'll be an announcement with regards to our energy policy. It won't just be nuclear, but there will be an announcement with regards to our energy policy leading into the May budget. It's not unusual for an opposition to not have a whole policy suite out 3 years before an election or 2 years before an election. We're heading into that final election year, and you will start to see policies coming out. But I mean, this is a normal timeline for policy announcements to occur as you head into an election year.
OK, Matt, does nuclear subs pave the way for the nuclear energy market?
No, they're completely separate issues, Pete. When it comes to nuclear energy, we just don't see the benefit in implementing a system that hasn't been implemented anywhere else in the world, and the Liberal Party.
Every advanced economy is rolling with it.
Matt, there was literally at COP26 over 20 nations sign up to tripling emissions, zero emissions via nuclear.
Just back on that
point,
though.
And the only meeting at COP26 Bowen missed was this one.
Well, and just back to that point, Matt, I mean, most advanced economies are rolling with nuclear.
So the Liberal Party's policy is to implement small modular reactors to try and roll them.
You don't know what our policy is, Matt. We haven't announced it. Have you got a secret insight?
And I think that's the point.
You don't know what the policy is.
You don't have a policy.
We're not just talking small. We do have a policy. It's not announced
Let Matt
yet.
answer, Holly. Yeah, just let Matt answer.
That's the point. Firstly, the coalition need to sort out their division around energy policy. You've got Matt Canavan and Barnaby Joyce saying we should pull out of net zero by 2050. Now, if that is the case, then the coalition should be upfront with the Australian people, because that changes completely the trajectory of where you're going in terms of energy policy. So that's the first point. Secondly, their policy is for small modular reactors, which haven't been implemented anywhere.
No, it's not.
And thirdly, why would you implement a system that is more expensive? So you're going to implement a system that will push up Australia's energy costs. We all know that many Australian households are now moving to solar and batteries to reduce their energy costs. That, coupled with wind, deployable wind, solar on a broader scale, community batteries, is a cheaper way to go. And we're going to meet our commitments through that and do it cheaper.
Back to you, Holly. Now, before we change topics, can you give us a tease on where you're going to put the reactors once we get them, and how much they're going to cost, and what are you going to do with the waste?
Well, I think that, look, it is incredibly presumptuous of Matt and incredibly incorrect as he proudly and definitively announces small modular reactors our policy. We haven't announced any policy yet when it comes to what the specifics are. So unless Matt's doing a little bit of ASIO spying.
That's the word in the Australian.
We are, and we have always been, technologically agnostic to how emissions come down. It is this government that is in a race to renewables, and we are talking of tens of thousands additional transmission lines. We are talking about, you want to talk about technology that doesn't exist yet, the way that they're looking to battery storage that's not there. The policy will come out when the policy is announced, but the fact that this government is so afraid of nuclear, is so afraid when the broad population is starting to see the sense in it, because 30 advanced nations, most 30 advanced nations of the world, all have nuclear as part of their mix. All they have to do is remove the ban in the EPBC Act and let the market decide. If the market doesn't want it, that's where it'll land. But this Labor government's so frightened they won't even change the EPBC Act.
Almost out of time. Matt, the Minister for the Republic. Are you still Minister for the Republic, by the way?
Yes, I am.
You still going to do that in the second term?
It's going well.
Well, as I've said, the priority for the government at the moment is cost of living. And that's
okay. So no change. No change to that. The reason I ask, the premiers have been asked to put up their hands and make a pitch for the King's visit whenever that happens. Are you going to put your hand up for New South Wales as the Minister for the Republic?
I think that the King probably would visit New South Wales. It's the state with the largest population. And we certainly welcome the King coming to Australia. I've always said that the issue of Australia becoming a republic has got nothing to do with the royal family, really. It's about Australians deciding our own future and recognising our independence and maturity.
That's awkward, though, isn't it, Matt?
Oh,
No, not at
you
all.
just wait, Pete.
Not at
Well,
all.
you just
Not
wait.
at all.
All the Republicans, they'll be falling
I
over
welcome the
themselves to get to the king.
I would
Photo ops,
welcome
here we
the king.
come.
All
I
right.
welcome the king coming to Australia. He's our head of state.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
certainly.
Matt, Holly.
I'm a
I've gone-
monarchist, Matt. Just
Yeah.
let me know if you need some help.
I've gone too long.
Really?
Holly,
I would have never have guessed that.
Holly and Matt, we'll leave it there. Great to chat. Talk to you next week.